there are 20 principles of goal setting. Okay, you don't have to know them all. You pick whatever works for you. And again, I'm sorry that the workshops, the workbooks are not printed, and that's why I would love to send you the workbook if you want it, because you will have it like a roadmap in front of you. So this is the first one. Unlock your potential. This is number one. You have so much potential inside of you that sometimes you don't even know you have it. And let me tell you, when I started, I have been having always great jobs. You know, one of the jobs that I had was working for international airlines, where I would go to new markets and measure the markets, look at their cultures, see if they're going to be profitable or not, see what kind of language they speak, their customs, their rituals, everything there is, and then decide for the airline if they should open there or not. So it was a dream job, right? And then when things started going wrong with the airlines, I started seeing the handwriting on the wall. So I started working for corporate management companies that had 100 Fortune companies as clients. And then, you know, my husband told me, you know what, you're wasting your time working for other people. Why don't you go work for yourself? And I got so scared, you know, and I'm like, I've never done that before. My God, what about my paycheck? You know, what about what I'm going to do? And you know what? He said that you have so much potential inside of you that you never even tapped into it yet. And you know what? 3 years later, I'm starting to see what he was talking about. You know, not that I am the best or the greatest or whatever, but that I had potential inside of me that I never even knew that I had till I pushed myself to the limit. So all of you have, each one of you has inside of you great potential. So you need to unlock that potential. Remember that your true potential, nothing in life tells you that you have a valve that you can stop your potential where it's going to come to this level and then it's going to stop. It never happens that way. It never happens that way. So we need to think about a lot more than that. Unlock our potential. The second thing is take charge of your life. You are responsible for everything that happens in your life. It starts with you and it ends with you. So don't have excuses and don't blame others. Don't say that life is not fair. Don't say, oh, I have such bad luck. Don't say that, you know what, if you only knew what I went through. You know what, we all went through a lot. We all went through a lot. It's about getting up, dusting yourself, and keep continuing. Because life, no one said that life was fair. But you just need to know to pick up the pieces and keep moving on. Create your own future. See, so you have your way. You do your own way. You can have no limitation ahead of you if this is what you really think. You create your own future. You write your own destiny. And you can do that. If you believe that, you can write your own destiny. And always think, what if I couldn't fail? What would I achieve? Clarify your values, and this is important. We said if you're not clear about what you want, you will never get anywhere. So your innermost values have to be, and your passion have to be in the way you put these goals. Because if it's not dear to you, if it doesn't make sense to you, if it doesn't click with whatever you have inside of you, in the middle of the way, you just give up. So it has to be in line or parallel to your view. Think about what you believe and what you care to stick to it. Determine your true goals. So, like we said, it's clarity. It's about clarifying exactly what are the goals that you want to achieve. A, B, C. And A has 1, 2, 3. You have to be very, very specific, like we said before. And then find your own major purpose. What do you think your purpose here is in life? What is your own purpose that you want to make of your life? Because again, it's up to you. You need a central purpose that you work around, and it has always to be in a positive way. The power of words. The words have an extremely, extremely important influence in our lives. When we start saying something in a negative way, this is what stays in our mind. But if we say it in a positive way, like for example, we can say, don't speed down the road because you're going to get a ticket. We can say, drive carefully so you won't get a ticket. There is a huge difference. It's the way you say it. And I consult a lot of clients that even start putting their mission and vision and all that, and they start already putting obstacles in their way. And the way they speak or the way they put their statements is kind of limiting where it can be said in other ways, other words, that can make a whole lot of difference to people. We said the first thing was unlock your potential, and then now this, number 7 is unlock your creativity. And you have more creativity inside of you than you can ever think. And your creativity is what will help you bridge the gaps or whatever it is, because you can think about ideas, you know, just, I really want you to unleash that creativity that you have inside of you. And each one of you, I'm sure, has a lot of creativity in her mind or in her head. I just want you to let go and really believe that you have that creativity and let it go. So the 8th one is visualize your goals. And I'm going to give you a tool at the end how to visualize your goals. It's very important to see the end. With Stephen Covey, the great Stephen Covey, had in his book, 7 Habits of Highly Effective People. Number 2, he has 7 habits. The number 2 habits is start with the end in mind. Meaning, always see the future, visualize it. See it, feel it. Like, for example, if you want to make enough money to travel, like if I want to make enough money, for example, to go to Fiji, I'll close my eyes and I'll see the palm trees. I'll feel the sand between my toes. I'll feel the skin the sun on my skin. I'll smell the ocean. You have to visualize where you want to be. It's about passion. It's about what you really, really want, and that's what you will achieve. So visualize your goals at the end. And I'm going to give you tools how to do that and have it always in front of your eyes. Because whatever you see is whatever becomes a reality. And whatever you can actually achieve. So let your imagination run wild and dream and dream and dream. And just unleash your mental powers. Visualization, and this is what we were talking about, is about actually seeing in front of your eyes the end of your goal. It starts with the end of mind. And it's the best way to really see your destination and where you're going. So in order for you to do that, the first thing to start is put a list of benefits or how you're gonna feel when you achieve your goal. And that's part of visualization. Visualization is very big, especially in stress management. Stress management visualization is huge because you can actually bring your whole metabolic rate and your blood pressure and everything down just by visualizing where you're going to relax or how you're going to feel when you achieve your goal. Analyze your beliefs and see what do you believe you can achieve and what you actually can achieve. Because these are 2 different things. Sometimes we believe that we cannot achieve certain things when actually we have the potential to do it. So we want to go and analyze inside ourselves if we have any barriers inside of ourselves that we put for us in order not to achieve the goal. Start at the beginning. So don't jump in the middle. Like if you know you want to achieve, you want to be the VP, you know what I mean? You know that you started already. You have enough education, you put enough hard work, you really helped everybody get to their position, you have been working hard, you have been preparing and planning for this. You cannot start out of, for example, out of college, say, I want to be a VP. You have to start always at the beginning of the road. So know where you are, and it's always life in journey or goals in life is like basically strategic planning. It's like a journey. It's like a trip. Know where you are, know where you want to go, know how you're going to get there, and how you're going to know that you got there. So it's like a trip. Start by knowing where exactly you are now. Because if you don't know where you are now, you will never be able to know where you're going. Like if I want to go to Orange County, if I don't know I'm in West Hollywood, I'm going to take the wrong freeway. You know, because I won't have anywhere to go. So if I know I want to go to Orange County, okay, I am here, I'm going to Orange County, I'm going to drive, this is the way I'm going to get there, you know, and when I get there, I will know because Disneyland will be right at the exit, for example. You know, so you need to know where you are, where you're going, how you're going to get there, and how you know that you got there. Eliminate the obstacles. Again, the obstacles are in our minds. And we can always go around the obstacles. There is always a way to go around things. We can rethink our strategies, we can rethink our goals, and get around these obstacles to achieve whatever we did. And the biggest obstacle that a lot of people have, specifically women, is self-sabotage. is not really thinking that they can do it. They always have, what if, or maybe I don't have the qualities, or maybe, you know, I'm going to offend people, or maybe people are not going to get me, or not understand me. All this is in our minds. Get around the right people. They say, look at the people around you and you know who you are, more or less. So always network in the right places, with the right people, with the people that you know somehow will help you get to the next step. And it doesn't have to be only through work, but even in life, to teach you something new that you didn't know. Like, I'm very open to learn, even from a child. And just like, as long as it's something new that is going to help me in my life, why not? I'm very open-minded about that. And I do a lot of sessions, and sometimes someone will say something that I never thought about before. And it's just like, oh, great, you know, this is what I want to learn. So it's just about sometimes someone around you, especially if you choose the right people, and these people could be positive, have energy, that can push you forward, you know, that will be there for you. You know, because sometimes you can be around friends. Who has been around friends that drain their energy? So are these the right people to be around? Exactly. Exactly. I used to have a friend that no matter what, and I would call it whine. She would just whine and complain and complain and complain no matter what. And she had a good life. At the end, she drained, and I kept telling her, I can't do that. I can't for years. And then all of a sudden, I had to actually let that friend go, because it was draining my energy. It was bringing me down. It's like I would drag my feet when I know that we're going out to lunch or to dinner. So I didn't need that. I need people around me that are very positive, that are very charming, that I can help, or they can help me. Because there is a great satisfaction in helping people as well. Yes. The right people don't have to be people that will help you, but also people that you can help. Okay? Victimitis. And I call victimitis is like when people are always asking, why me? Actually, I say, why not me? You know, no matter what kind, and let me tell you, I have had so many things happening in my life that it's unbelievable. And for me, it's just like, okay, one more challenge to go through, let's go. I had no choice. Always since I was a kid, I lived by myself since I was 15 years old, and this is very unusual in the Middle East, right? So I lived by myself, and I always had to fend for myself. And I always said, whenever I had an issue, I don't call them problems, I call them an issue. See, that's already a way of thinking about saying. Whenever I have an issue, I will say, I don't have time to cry today, but I'll definitely cry tomorrow. And you know what? Tomorrow never came, because I didn't have the time. I just kept going on and on and on and on and on. So it didn't really matter what kind of obstacles I went through. Actually, it made me stronger. Remember, whatever doesn't break us, make us stronger. So, no obstacles in life. And not being a victim. Obstacle can be challenges to overcome. As long as we have self-confidence in our life and in our journey, we can push ourselves as far as we can. Or not only as we can, as we are meant to push ourselves to achieve whatever we need to achieve. Manage your time well, and time management is great. So if you have a problem with your time management, use journals for 3 days. Mark down every half hour what you do, and look where you are wasting your time. This will help you a lot. Procrastination. Do not procrastinate. Procrastination is basically delaying a task, and whatever you put under the rug is not going to go away. It's going to come back like a monster. So we need to stop procrastinating and set priorities. We need to maximize the productivity. Every single one of us has a certain time of the day where they can achieve best. Like, for example, I'm more of an afternoon, evening person production. So when I have big tasks or something that needs totally my concentration, I leave it for the afternoon or for the evening. So in the morning, I have to wake up early to do my so I do my sales calls, I do my reports, I do my invoicing, I do whatever doesn't need my brain capacity in the low energy level of the day. So you need to find out what is your best energy level in the day?
Noon.
Noon. So that's when you need to schedule the biggest tasks or the most difficult tasks to do. because your brain is open, your energy is up, and you know you can do it. Who's energetic in the morning, early morning? Who's in noon? Afternoon? Night? Okay, so know when your energy level is highest, and that's when you should schedule for your biggest or most difficult tasks. When you procrastinate, I always say, eat a frog. I love frogs, by the way, though. I mean, it's a French cuisine, I really like it. But eat a frog. Imagine the worst, most difficult task that you have is a frog. So in the morning, start by eating a frog. Again. Imagine that your most difficult task that you don't want to have, like for the lady there, that she doesn't want to make a, what's your name?
Julie.
Julie?
Yeah, Julie Hoffman.
Julie. Julie doesn't like to make phone calls, so that's a frog. So the first thing that she needs to do is to eat a frog, make that phone call, so the end of the day, by the end of the day, she already ate the frog. All her day is hers. You know what I mean? So it's just like, imagine it that way. Why do you think people procrastinate? Fears. It could be fear of success or fear of failure. Or they're not clear about what they want. Or they are too confused. They don't know, they don't have clarity. Or they don't know where to start. Sometimes you can have a pile of things to do and you don't even know where to start. Yes?
I read one time that sometimes procrastination is actually a function of perfectionism for people who, they don't want to start it unless everything is perfectly set out the way they want it before you start. So
start.
Yeah.
So start. You know what? Start putting piles, and the piles will get better, and the better, will start getting a little bit better, then it will be the best. You need to start. All these are excuses. Excuses. And we agree that we're not going to have excuses.
Right.
We're just going to move forward. Right? And if you have 2 frogs, start with the ugliest. Okay? And that will never leave your mind, believe me. You know, just like, if you have a very difficult or ugly task, start with it. If you have 2 that are really bad and ugly, start with the most difficult. And after that, your day will be smooth sailing. And always reward yourself. Always avoid time wasters. And time wasters can be emails, social media, interruptions, going to Starbucks,
TV.
Excuse me?
TV.
TV, absolutely.
Internet.
Real Housewives, yeah. So so sometimes if you work in a work environment or even at home, it's okay to close the door, to have concentration of time. We're answering phone calls. You know, I have on my voicemail that if you call me, I will return your calls between the hours of 8 and 9, 2 and 3, 4 to 5. After that, I will call you within 24 hours. Because I don't want to keep like going crazy looking at my phone all the time. I do my emails twice a day or 3 times a day, depending. You know, you cannot keep like distracting yourself with all that. That's a time waster. So you need to know, put it on a post-it note, what is it, how you waste your time. Put it on your fridge, so it will be in front of your eyes. What you see, you can do. What you see becomes a reality. What you write becomes a reality. So put it on a post note, and set aside mail, like I said, for emails, for phone. You know, pick a time to work when others are not. And one of the things that always used to lose time for me is like in the middle of the night, when I'm sleeping, I would just remember something. And I would just like wake up right away, and I'm like, and I would have to get up, and I would lose time trying to go back to sleep. Now I have something next to my bed. Whenever if I remember something, I will just write it. And I have a peace of mind that I'm not going to forget it, and I will just go back to sleep. So little things that we can do that can actually save us the anxiety of that. Have a journal. You'll be amazed on what you discover with your journals. You'll be amazed. So do something every day. Make sure that you plan for something every day as you go. So review your goals daily. Especially if you have tasks that you need to achieve every day. Like I know I have things that I have to do every day. Every single day I look at these goals, these little mini goals that I know I need to finish by the end of the day. Start a plan of action. Now we dreamed, we know the basics, we unleash our potential, we unleash our creativity, and now we know we have to achieve the goal, so we need to start acting. So we need to put a plan of action together. And we remember the SMART goals, how we do it? That's the plan of action. We're going to have another exercise at the end also. Have faith and be persistent. Have faith, be positive that you're going to achieve that. If you believe that you're going to do it, you will do it. Don't self-sabotage yourself. If you actually is positive and you believe that you're going to do something, and I'm telling you that from experience, I'm not just telling you something that I read in a book. I'm telling you things that first-hand experience, okay? Persistence and perseverance have great guarantees of success in life. So that's your true measure, actually, in you believing what you do. Measure your progress. As far like we said, knowing where you are, what you achieved already, should be like a kind of measure for you to do. And then celebrate and reward yourself all the time. No matter how small it is. Even if it's a lollipop, just celebrate and reward yourself. Action today. What about that? These are 20 most important principles in achieving your goal. And I'm glad that you got your workbook. But still, again, if you want the presentation, I'll be happy to send it to you. Nothing can stop you now that you know all the settings.